If you're feeling consistently blah and just feeling overwhelmed and then underwhelmed when you do allow yourself to rest, and not knowing how much rest is enough and what other things you should do other than work and taking care of your family, or if you can even make the time, and all of these things going on, and you just feel stuck and hopeless and helpless. But you want to feel more in control of your life. You want to feel strong and capable enough, resilient enough to feel good in your body, to feel hot again, to feel like the 18-year-old you in some ways, some characteristics. My name is Caitlin Taylor. I'm a certified personal trainer, yoga instructor. I do habit coaching with my clients and more. And I'm just here to share with you that I'm even able to be the personal trainer, the yoga instructor, and to show up here online more for you because of the journey that I go through and my chronic health illness, if you will, dealing with endometriosis and possibly other things, but we're certain endometriosis. And you don't have to know what that is, but for me personally, it looks like dealing with nausea daily, to the point that for years on and off, it would be like, are you pregnant or something? But it's just consistent. And doing my best to constantly stay hopeful that things will change, and just doing my best to do what I can do to take care of my body, to take care of my mind, to feel as powerful as I can throughout each day. So on top of the daily nausea, dealing with pain almost daily, just stomach cramps, and it can go from various levels. But to the point that I do have to miss work almost every month at some point. And it doesn't matter if it's on my cycle or not. And it's just the fact that I want to be able to give you tools, whether you are dealing with a chronic illness or you're just dealing with life and you're trying to figure it out like we all are. And maybe you don't have the access or you feel like you don't have the time. So at least I can show up here for you. And so it's just a reminder that you're not alone, and that I'm here on this journey giving you tools all based off of things that I do for myself or have done in the past. So everything I give you is something that I've used and I've experienced. So I'll always share my personal side of things, but as with all life, everyone is different. And so some things may work for me that may not work for you, and vice versa. And so as we go along on this journey and we're trying to figure out, okay, I'm feeling blah. Let's just keep it that simple. What can I do? What's within my power in just small ways? Because if we try to add these big lists and big things to do, and these crazy wellness centers that you need to go to, or these crazy shots and all these things that you need to do, what if we just take a step back? Instead of overwhelming you more, it's okay, what are the small steps? For me and for nearly every client I work with, there are a few basic things that are helpful that we just, even just choosing one each day makes a difference for our mind and our body. And so that looks like making sure we're moving our body, whether that's mobility stretches each day. As soon as I attain a client, or even if they don't train with me and I just do a consultation, each person receives a few mobility exercise videos that they can follow along with me, that's on the YouTube channel, that pertains to what I learned in their consultation. So maybe they have tight shoulders or pain in their shoulders and a tight back. We're going to add open book. We're going to add thread the needle. We're going to do cat cow. And that's just a few of them. And so I'm going to tell them, whether you decide to train with me or not, let's do your best to get in a habit of doing at least 3 stretches a day. And I say mobility stretches because it's just making sure that even if we're not doing strength training each day, which is so important for us at every age, but especially as we get over 50, it's when you're doing mobility exercises, they're these active exercises that are helping you build strength because you're having to engage parts of your core, your lats, your abs, your glutes, and you're building flexibility by beginning to open up more. And then through that, you feel a little bit looser and more energized throughout the day. So it's just the fact that these tools help you in more ways than one. So other than moving our body with mobility stretches, that also looks like going on walks. I intentionally got a dog so that I would go on more walks because I was not going on them solo. And to get me to want to go, I know that sometimes I just need to take care of something and have someone I love to get me going and to want to do something. And having a dog is helpful in so many ways. And so she gets me to go on walks at least once a day. She goes in our backyard if I'm feeling very sick that day and can't go and stuff. But the goal is twice a day, going on a walk in the morning and then in the evening. And it's just getting in a habit, because we just need to remember that we're not here to live to work. We're here to work to live. And so it's finding our own balance. Everyone has their own, but it's what can you, even though your day may be busy from that 9 to 5, what can you do before and after? And what are those little doses you can do in between? Even sitting at your desk, you can do a few stretches at your desk. I've worked at offices and jobs where I was doing that 9 to 5, and I was like, we have so much open time that yes, people are productive, but we could get, there was a lot of talking and things going on, and there always is, because you need some downtime in between, right? Use that downtime. Maybe you're sitting in your chair and you put your ankle on your thigh and do a figure 4 stretch. And there's just more options you can do. Thread the needle leaning over your office desk. And this is also part of the journey of internally, if I tell you to do those things and maybe you have the same response of, that would look so silly. No one can see me stretching at my desk. That's crazy. But it's also crazy that we're not willing to do things that are better for us and take care of our health and help us live longer, help us feel better, help your skin get better. All the things that you want, we're just choosing not to do because we're afraid of what other people think. So that's also what we go through when I'm with my personal training clients of, it's not just these exercises, but it's also working through those little mental barriers and blocks that sometimes we don't realize we have. And we're like, that's just the mold and the form that society has given us of how we should be at work. That's just how it is. But no, even through training, we're working through what is the life that you want, and let's create it through small habits. So there's move your body. There's get outside. That's going on those walks. And see, going on walks hits 2 birds with 1 stone, going on the walk, moving your body, and getting outside. And then getting outside, you can also do gardening. And even if you're not gardening that day, maybe it's checking on your plant. Maybe it's checking and seeing, what are the butterflies doing, the squirrels doing, the bees doing. And that hits 2 birds with 1 stone as well, because you're getting outside, which is great for your mental and physical health, including your immune system. You're also connecting with nature and building that mind-body connection as well, of when there aren't so many distractions like social media and just being on our phones, being on our laptops and having music and things like that all the time, we're finally able to, oh, this is what it feels like to touch the ground. This is what it feels like to feel plants, or, to touch the flowers and to smell the flowers and to feel the sun on our skin. And then, so there's move your body, there's get outside. And then I also say get your legs up or go upside down. So even if it's going in downward dog, maybe you're not getting your legs up, but going upside down, having your head down and letting that blood flow. I also have it in my daily routine now of get your legs up the wall. So even if it's just 5-10 minutes, I lie in my bed or sometimes on the ground so that I don't go to sleep. I sometimes even do it in the kitchen, just putting my feet up. I lie on the ground, have my feet up against the counter, and just letting that blood flow. And it also just helps calm my nervous system down. And so I do sometimes deal with some anxiety. And so then that just helps me calm down, and I'll just be all scattered brain and everything. And then it's just like even if I feel like I won't be able to calm down, I always do. And then there's also practicing handstands. So if you ever safely, these are all things doing within your range and your possibility. But I have a client now that she's used to be a gymnast and a cheerleader, and now she's about to turn 50 in a few months, and she's doing handstands again. She's doing cartwheels, and it's absolutely amazing. And so it's just, even through those daily habits, it's what things in life are exciting. But that is the gist of it today. And I just want to give you some hope. I just want to let you know that you may feel like this now, but nothing lasts forever. The good, the bad, and we can take that however we want, but let's take it a positive way. Let's do it in a way that's going to help us move forward. So we get to choose how we think and how we feel about something. We get to decide that this is such a positive thing. It's not going to last forever. And I get to choose, even if it's just in a dose of the day for 10 seconds, I feel a little bit more joy. Oh, bonus. That makes me think of the What Went Well exercise. There's a video that I did on that recently, but it's so helpful, especially if you're feeling a little down and just a little, you want to see more light and color in your life and feel more hopeful and more joy. Do the What Went Well exercise. That video will tell you more, but the basis of it is that either before you go to bed or when you get up in the morning, like I did it this morning instead because I fell asleep early last night, and didn't get it done. And that's okay, giving myself grace. In the What Went Well, you write 3 things that went well that day. And you write why they went well. Why is it a good thing to you? If I have a What Went Well of, I was at the beach and just seeing the ocean and seeing the sand and the sun beaming made me feel so good. I just felt like all of the weight that was on me from minutes before I came to the beach, worrying about all these things about work, family, life, health, just dissipated. And so being able to do that at night when I'm writing it down, it allows my mind to come back to that moment and connect. And so maybe physically you're not there, but there's parts of your brain that can't tell to an extent if when you're imagining something in such vivid detail, if you're there or not. So a part of you gets to re-experience that joy again. And so sometimes I know that, especially when I'm feeling really low, I am just in such a bad mood and I don't want to, a part of me doesn't want to do anything else to feel better. I just want to stay there. There's a part of you that has to listen and let yourself rest and reset a little bit. And then there's a part of you that when you're ready and you feel like it's time and you're like, you feel that nudge, then you get yourself to do that What Went Well. Just 3 of them. You can jot them down. You don't and do bullet points. You don't have to do full sentences. And I recommend always doing it in a notebook or something that you can see that you've done it consistently. So maybe you do it for 30 days. And I started in 2016 and I've been doing it on and off ever since because it is so helpful. So this is just a reminder that you have the power to create the life you want, and it may not happen overnight. Sometimes it does in some ways, in magical ways, but then in other ways that are magical, it happens in small doses. So maybe today this is your small dose in this video of giving you a little bit of light and encouragement and hope and some ideas of what else to do. So I hope you give yourself grace and choose one of these. Let me know in the comments if you test one out, and I'd love to know what you tested out and how you feel after. Cheers. I'm cheering you on. Love and light to you. Things will get better. Talk soon.